education system that we have today is industrial. I want you to think about education and how it goes down today in our world. Do you put on the schedule that every day I am going to teach my toddler or my 3-year-old math skills at 10 o'clock?
Professor Einstein is discussing nuclear fission.
Heck no. They learn whatever they want to learn, and they learn a ton. So they have this creative expanse that they can learn anything they want to learn. And then we stick them into a system where it's the hose and spray system. There's one person up there, and they spray everybody with water. And if you get a drink of that water, that's the learning, then you're a good student. But if you are distracted or don't like the water or something like that, you don't learn. And so therefore, you're put over here in the group of people that are not quite there. That system's gone.
98% of 5-year-olds are creative geniuses, where 2% of adults are. Throughout the years, we are just knocking the creativity out of people. Part of that is because of the way our school system runs and the fact that we don't really allow for a lot of curiosity and inquiry-based learning. And that's what the project-based learning is bringing to us, and the passion-based learning. But also, creativity can be exercised. So the adults that have lost their creativity, you can exercise and get it back. But the motion right now is to encourage teachers and parents to try and get the kids to be able to be curious, get them to ask questions, and exercise that creativity. A lot of companies are putting in innovation efforts, and what they're doing really is they throw a bunch of toys in a conference room and tell their employees to be creative. Well, that's not going to work. That's not really exercising creativity. That's taking a bunch of adults and throwing toys in front of them, seeing what they can do. Throw those toys in front of a bunch of 5-year-olds, it's going to be a completely different story. If you were to give a 5-year-old a whisk and say, what can you make out of this? They would have it and they say, this is a bad guy cage and I can trap bad guys in this and I could teleport them to a whole nother world with all the other bad guys. And you give that whisk to an adult and they say, I can make brownies with it.
Deep, dark devil's food.
We're staying convergent and we really want to make people divergent thinkers.
So what scientists have uncovered is that there's several myths about learning. We've learned that we don't really learn by constantly rereading the same thing over and over again. We learn by retrieving it on our own. So think about the last time that you bumped into somebody and you couldn't remember their name, and then all of a sudden you remembered it on your own. Scientists have found that if you can recall that data source, that knowledge, just twice, you will very likely remember it for your lifetime. That is significant. It's kind of like riding a sled. Do you remember the first time out on the snow? The very first time you go down the steep hill, it was still kind of hard to get down because there was no groove. First time you go down, you have to help yourself along. The second time you go down, it's a little bit easier. And by the third and fourth time, you fly down the hill. That's exactly how learning recall works for us. So we want to encourage people to remember and recall in relevant situations. And that's a very powerful way to remember what you need to know when you need to know it. So this new style of learning, embracing learning the way the brain learns, is tremendously more effective today.